Robert Te Whare, and my role here is the Chief Executive of Mokai Kainga. Well, it's out of Mokai Kainga that the Owhiro Community Gardens came about. Mokai Kainga was set up back in 1990, and I happen to be on one of the City Council working committees in regards to what people need out in the community. And one of the things that I asked Council was whether there was land available for people to be able to grow vegetables. And they said, well, we can look at it, and they did. And we first started a garden up in Tenere Park, which is still going today. That was in 1990. And then we came down here in 2004 and set up a garden here in 2009. And so for Mokai Kainga, we're the ones who will set up this garden, but we only play the role of caretaker of the land, Jonathan. We lease the land on the book for rental because we provide the service on behalf of the City Council. And the land is for any of the community within the Owhiro Bay here, Island Bay, Barrencourt, Brooklyn, and some have come from Kilburnie, Strathmore. But it's really just the nearby community that we really cater for our community gardens. Yes, all families. That one over there, that person is digging there, belongs to Black Power. They have that one. Further over from them is the soup kitchen garden. Well, we have the Sisters of Compassion soup kitchen. They come out on a Monday. Then we have Corrections who have their own what we call PD garden. They come out 4 days in a week. Then we have Black Power who have their garden. And then we have all other families besides. And then with this one here we use for kaumātua. Kaumātua people to help do this garden because we're catering for 3 houses at the same time with this one. So you're in what we call the kaumātua garden, Jonathan, where the older people can come and just do a little bit of gardening because they can't do too much gardening once they get old. So they share this garden, and when all the vegetables are ready, they just come and help themselves to the garden. Well, as you can see, you got silver beet, you got miner's lettuce, you got parsley, you got potatoes, you got rhubarb, kale, celery. This is our glass house, made by the boys through Corrections. I think this is where we raise our seeds, propagate our seeds in that, and put them out so that gardeners can come and give a koha to the seeds that we raise. Another one. Mainly lettuces, broccoli, silver beet. What else have we got? Parsley, that's things we're raising at the moment. Yeah. And here's our chickens. I just feed them. We're not a tribal organisation because we made a thing which some people use the word taurehere. We know how to go back to our roots. That's what taurehere means, so that we can first identify ourselves with our iwi. So we take anyone on here who's from any iwi, but we don't. There's no dominant iwi for the local here. There has to be a mixture of iwi to make it survive. If you want to have connections back to your iwi, you just go back to your iwi whenever you want to, which we all do. But for this organisation, it's getting people who come into the city from the iwi and haven't been able to survive. So we formed this work group to help those people to survive as a whānau. So it's become Whānau Roku organisation assisting whānau from all in. That's how we operate. We cater to Pākehā, but the priority first is must be to Māori. Yeah, that's what we set up for Māori, by Māori. But we do cater for the non-Māori also, because we have non-Māori on our trust.
I'm a trustee. I used to be a helper. Oh, I can't remember the date when I first met Robert. He's very good.
Back in the 1980s.
80s. He's very good. Telling you how good you are.
1989.
How do it? You know, it started in a little place in College Street, and then it moved into a council building in Willard Street. They were about to sell that, and he wangled it that we could buy property in here. And then the next thing you know, all that gorse out there and all that blackberry, that could be gardens. And it happened. It's good adopting people who can.
I actually came down here, unfortunately, through PD. Then I was invited to actually stay here because I went out and was extraordinarily proactive, and that only came for the proactivity of everybody here, you know, from the PD men, you know, from Robert, especially from Robert, to Floody, yeah? And I just felt that I just wanted to be around it. So it was something that I'd been missing.
Yeah, no, I've been here for probably 5-6 years, and it's just growing on me. I'm like the spare parts man.
The utility belt.
Yeah, man, yeah. If it's broken, we'll fix it. Yeah. And you know, we've built some stuff from scratch, like, you know, a couple of seed houses, one for the sister's garden, one for Robert's garden. There's a few things. Closed in the front of the house for the office block. But yeah, no, I just, you know, you just pitch in where you can help here.
Where all the compost take place, Jonathan. This is where all the guys from corrections come and they turn over the soil, they turn over the compost. And all the gardeners do is just come and help themselves to put the compost into the garden.
Ko he te pakairangi Makasko, taku angoa, no pare hauraki au. Engari and ānei noa ana I Hawhanganui a Tara, so we're from Pare Hauraki. But we now live in Whanganui. I live here with my daughter. And I came into Mokai Kainga because I was looking for a pāharakeke. I had one up in Whanganui where I'd lived for some time, and I needed a pāharakeke, and I wanted to put one in, and I thought, oh, a nice safe place might be in a community garden because I don't have any land at home. And so I looked through the phone book actually, and I was looking for anything that was sort of mouldy, that would understand what a pāharakeke is. And so I rang up and Robert answered, and he wanted to know where I was from because he's very nosy. And he said, yeah, no, come around. And he said, we've already got lots and lots of harakeke. And I put it in, you know, 5 years ago when we started this, thinking a weaver will come along. And he said, so excellent, we've got exactly what you need. And I said, oh wow, that's fantastic. So I did, I came along and I've never looked back. One thing is up under there for Nico, under the ferns.
What's going to get planted up there?
Pitia and the Nico,
And a
sorry.
Nico.
And we've got that carex, that grass.
Yeah.
So where do we want to look at putting that, do you think? Around this area, maybe over on that bank over
Over
there?
there.
So we just put them in here and plant our carex sort of in and around. You know, we could actually just do that now, couldn't I, really? What we're doing is we are going to create a border, and then inside the border to the swamp, I think we'll put the carex. So I'm thinking of going up a bit higher, cleaning up a bit and going up a bit higher. Because naturally people don't go up there. No. And that's quite nice and shaded in summer. It's more, you know, it's got, and we put all our Nico and Pukatia, sort of like coming down. And then shade pod, or you know, the windbreak. Yeah. Maybe put something underneath here, because this is a good one now as well. Yeah, we pick up the carrots, and we can pick up the Pukatia and the Nico. That's okay, so we can put the Pukatia into here. So all the Pukatia can go. And so we'll take those, and then we'll pick up the Nico, and I'll pick up this lot. This one. The carrots are 4 slots. Swampy one, like this. Yeah, so this one is a toy. I'm going to take it up because they get too big.
Is there another spade in the shed possibly?
Yeah, there is. Pop up and have a look. Have a look in that silver shed, or just have a look around. I'm going to get a wheelbarrow still. Let's just get this. Park it on that side. Yep, and pull them out together. And if it's still a little, yep, that's right, done that. Yep. It's just the other row way holding them up. So just like that, Sharpie. And if every pahare kiki is looked after like that, we will have no accident.
Well, you know, I think if anybody is as open-minded as I am in that, you know, you can fit in here, you know, and basically there's no really any rules, but you know, there are rules, but they're not rules. You know, it's a situation where people are encouraged to use their own initiative. You know, if they see something that needs doing, we'll go and fix it. You know, sort of don't be asked to do it. You know, and that's the thing. You know, I see a lot of that happening here. Is people trying to give to other people and to encourage them to get up and get into it.
I've tried to show lads, anybody that comes through, especially from PD, I've tried to ask them, well, indeed, put forward to them new ideas, show them how to do new works. So we have a wood here, we just made that out of pallets, okay? So that's a recycling solution. This is really one thing that we were really trying very hard to push. And also trying to show to guys that it can be done just out of, well, getting out there and just getting on with it, really, which is a big thing. We've done a hydraulic water pump. We supply 4,000 litres of water that come through here through the summer period, and that is just purely off a hydraulic pump. And so this is all about teaching people how to do things, letting young people know there are opportunities there. They can actually jump in and do it by themselves, yeah? They just need to be shown just a little bit, just offered the situation, you know, that's a very big thing of what we're trying to do.
A lot of weaving we actually do in private, and we do in our own homes. And so it's not shared, really. It's only with immediate whānau. But this environment, and with Robert being the way Robert's laid down the kaupapa here, is we open it up. And so I see my role as simply to provide an opportunity for people to
What does any mean?
feel it and respond to that feeling. And so, yeah, like I say, it's just an opportunity to go as far as you like. I'll take you as far in, or just a call, or just someone who says, I just want to watch. That's okay too.
We get a lot of youngsters through, and you know, obviously trouble because they're coming through from PD. I mean, they do their thing. If they want to come around, it's their choice. Yeah, there is no forcing, nothing at all. So we just do our thing. We just go through the job, and you know, we ask if a person comes through. So what did you do before? And then we create a job for the person with that skill.
Like weaving, it's about weaving our lives and healing our lives. And in this environment, that's really pertinent because a lot of the people coming in are quite dislocated, yeah, and out of balance. And so this is just an opportunity to share with them a way to go inside themselves, find that place of balance, and start bringing it in. We've all been very dislocated by colonisation. And then you hang around and they're all young, not with your old people. So there's a sense of how can we reconnect them. And so when they come in here and you see the boys and girls that want to sit and talk about things, that's the reconnection. And so that's what is very, very positive about the corrections is that they want to see the boys become gentlemen and remember respect and have something positive about our old beautiful tupuna world, you know.
If we look at the days of our tupuna, our ancestors, that's how they survived with the gardens. They didn't have the money to be able to go to the shop and buy food, so they had to live off the land. Like my own parents, we had to live off the land. They had to live off the land. I mean, they weren't employed, so they just had to survive by trying to grow things in the garden. So that's how we were brought up. They taught us how to grow things, so that in time we were able to take over the land. And I guess that's one of the reasons why I picked up here, because we know that we will survive from the land, not just on vegetables, that you could see from having chickens and having ducks and having eels and hopefully having pigs and so on.
It's all about respect for people, for old ideals, and for people to actually understand that the ground, and this is so important, putting your hand on the earth and holding it in your hand is so important. It's just grounding your own heart, grounding your people, grounding who you are, knowing who you are. And you always get that from here. And this is truly, I feel, that this is what it taught me.
I think for me being a weaver isn't about doing something, it's actually about being and about connecting. It's about, and it's being inspired from the past, from tupuna. I know that's where I get it from my tupuna. And it's about being generous and sharing that little part of manahitanga. And then the kaitiakitanga side is then what we've got out there, being a guardian for it and enabling it to thrive again. So from a native perspective, that's particularly where I'm coming from, and so all our Tikanga Māori for the weaving guides me in terms of my knowledge of plants, and then I pick up with other people. So Alan, for example, does really keen on rongoā Māori, and that's lovely because a lot of this work ties in with the rongoā. So it's a lot about healing, thriving, relationship, connection, old knowledge, making it relevant, and just having fun, just being in Whānau. It's just fun.
The people here, they genuinely care about people who are down on their luck. And when I first came here, I was really down on my luck. I'd been living in the bush for about 2.5 years, and I got taken out of the bush and put in a bloody house up on the hill that's like a mansion.
Well, Bruce Ave is a house that we've just recently, we in the past we've had it for students to rent, but this time we've looked at it, the trust has looked at it, and we've said to ourselves that we perhaps we should be catering for the homeless and the criminal offenders, and that's what we do now. We've opened the house to offenders and to the homeless, and I must take you up there one day to see. You see how that's run. They actually run it themselves. We don't have anyone to care for them. And it's up to them to make their own rules for the house and for them to see. But I always keep a regular contact with them. Sometimes I go and have meals with them, or we bring them down here for meals. Because they are people that see they can be the most vulnerable people sometimes. So they need more whānau support than I would say the ordinary person.
I came from a background where I spent a lot of time with the Justice Department. And here, and authority, and I don't handle authority too well, and especially when you get a lot of idiots in the authority. But here, as I say, you're encouraged to use your own initiative and just go about getting on, and the thing is, the people here trust you. You're not, like I can, even today, I can go home to Christchurch and people still don't want to know me, and I haven't been in trouble for a long time. But yeah, just the caring and the sharing here, and yeah, it's bloody real awesome.
That's the Kaumātua's cure. I was brought up in private school in the Northern West. Yes, and a very different society, boarding schools and the like. I did not actually realise who I was until I arrived here, and then I found out, actually, I'm Māori. I mean, honestly, it was very uplifting, I suppose, and also traumatic. A realisation everything about me had been pushed aside. Then when I arrived here, I found out that, well, actually, there's another entire culture that I grew up with, that I know of, that I feel intrinsically and feel. It has just been reopened. So that was a really major thing. And this is the big thing that Mokai Kainga has opened for me, which is indeed why I haven't gone away.
So I put them in here just to get them wet, keep their roots wet because they've been traumatised. The one thing we don't want is them drying out. And then what I'm going to do, first thing I always do is I actually lay out before I plant, and then stand back and look at, is this the right way to do it? Let's go. So what I'd like to do is lay in maybe 1, 2, 3 in here. Oh, well done, lunchtime. Okay, so should we do our next bit after lunch?
Yeah.
Go for lunch and... Oh, thanks, Johnny!
All good.
Oh, so nice to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is like so lovely to this Whānau and what's to really work together on it.
It's not for the vulnerable, it's for anybody here. Like let me explain, the one in Tenera Park is mainly for low income because we're catering for the ones who are living flats around there. Yeah, the flats down in Brooklyn there, Central Park flats, Nairn Street, all those areas there, all those flats there. Whereas here we cater for anybody. Yeah, we're not just catering for low income, the vulnerable, we cater for any families up there. Middle class, the workers, yeah. But some people look private, you know, when we didn't have a sign outside, or when you put our sign outside that was open to the public, yeah, and then the public realised it's open to anybody.
I think the council needs thanks. When we started, we had to, that's a frame drawing of what we hoped would happen, and we had to give it to the council for their approval. And one of their things was there had to be a sign out the front. So that's the original sign. They made those sort of little rules, but I think they were going to say yes anyway, because he said a long association with council.
Belongs to a Tongan family. If you look closely, you can see all the taro just starting to come through again, because they die down in the winter and then they'll start coming back through, and they multiply each year. So he has a massive crop of taro come summertime. It's just covered with taro. I think we just took on 2 gardeners yesterday who are going to be growing Māori rongoa and Māori native plants. Yeah, so we've given them those 2 plots there. And it just means for me to think, at least I know how I can survive off this land. If anything, it's being able to survive. It's being able to identify myself with the land and what the land means to me. Hey, and this is, I think, looking at it from a spiritual point of view also. There's a lot of spirituality in the land itself. Yeah, so the thing, when you think of the land, you're thinking of medicine, you're thinking of vegetables. Hey, yeah.
And really, it's about being in Whānau for me. All of us here are Whānau, and weaving for the Whānau and developing our mara, our indigenous mara. We're just developing that kaiwa, and our indigenous, as you know, all the fernery over by the puna. We're trying to restore a native ecosystem, which is coming back into honouring Papa really, and how she has this originally. We don't garden this now, we've laid it in, and other than getting rid of pests, we just leave it alone. And in this way Papa will grow, be beautiful, and also look after our water, and in that sense look after us as well. And so it's fabulous to finally get it to this stage. It's just beautiful. And so we just wait now, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, we'll be coming up and sitting on our little bench. Hey, Jono.
Sounds good to me.
that understanding, the change of understanding of, you know, sitting in there in a hole in a wall, to coming out and experiencing this and helping people out. You know, this is what community gardens to me is all about.
I was planning I'll be here until they kick me out. Yeah, no. But when I first came here, I roamed away, came back, roamed away, came back, but I'm here to stay now.
And will you be a trustees for a long time?
I don't know. Yeah. I've been told I'm not going to get buried in a cemetery. I'm going to get buried out there.
Have you been in charge of the gardens since they started?
Since they started. No one will take that away from me until I die.